Okay, everybody, this is Frog Snack, and this is Let's Build. So, unfortunately, it's evening. I would do this in the middle of the night. This is the build that you just saw me run through real quick. I added several levels. The original apartment here was the very tip top. So let me showcase that real quick. I just added some things outside to make it simple. And the apartment essentially was half of this space. So it was sort of set up that there was a bed here and a little bathroom, and it kind of ended, I think, in here. And I made sort of a large bedroom out of it, or rather a 2-bedroom apartment. This is a cute little secret door. I don't recall which expansion it came to, but basically everything in this build is Pets, Late Night, and the regular Sims 3. So I think this bookshelf might be the only thing that's not Late Night. It might be... Well, let's find out. Let's find out where it is, because it is officially a door. Oh, okay. Right. So it's, I always forget the name of it, with a supernatural. Right. So that's the only thing that's a little odd. So I have no idea what the game would replace it with. I would assume a regular door. So again, I can put this up on the exchange if you guys are interested. This is a normal lot from Late Night. So if you have the Late Night town of... the name is escaping me right now. I'm sure it's a really important town name. Right? Bridgeport? Then, well, oh gosh, it named it. Right. Well, I'll go in here and I'll show it as an empty house. So I just renamed it. It's the Equestrian Floodgate Apartments. So it was called the Floodgate Apartments before. It's just a studio apartment. Now it costs 113,000 simoleons because I have renovated it quite a bit. And I thought rather than running through in fast forward, it might be better to just show it a little bit. So what I did is I created a space for horses at the bottom of it, and I created several apartments. So there's the 2-room apartment that I mentioned. I'm going to take this back to day so you can see it. Right, so there's the 2-bedroom main apartment. I was just going to leave it at that, and I got really ambitious. I put 2 more apartments in here. So this is similar to the setup of the original apartment. And then I put another one on the other side, so one has a little bit more space. Again, they both have balcony spaces. I just made everything sort of match, so any of these could be color adjusted, but for now it's simple. I also added public bathrooms on each level, and you'll notice I use markers, and I'll show you that really quickly. But if you actually go to edit, well, I don't have it turned on right now, but if you go... and I think I showed it in slow motion in the video, but if you go restrict build by in buildings, and you basically can turn it on or off, I believe it's a true false, where you have a space and then you type true. That's where you're able to change things outside your unit, so you can start changing the shell of the building, the whole lot, whatever you want to do, which is of course what I did. And then beyond that, you have to have Buydebug On, so that the little over in this area, which is currently blank, that you get a question mark here. So you're going to see all those things in the video. Then you click on the question mark and you can still start changing room markers. So these are not, there's no markers in these rooms whatsoever, which by default makes them private and means you can play in this area. If you put a public room marker somewhere, it means any sim can come in, but that's advantageous to you if you want to make sure that there is a lot going on in your lot. So all of these areas are common areas. They have public room markers. And then going down one more level, I created sort of the equestrian, like the main equestrian Sims house, which I think came out really nicely. He has a fireplace, another really nice bookshelf, kind of a full apartment to himself. It's a 1-bedroom for the size. It's got a full bar, and it overlooks what is essentially the barn area. So I made this little peekaboo area, which I'm kind of proud of. I think it came out really cute. All glass windows, and what you have here is, instead of a pool, you have a pool, and then below it, you have a space for horse racing. So this is the racing post that denote where the horse can race, and these usually you can do a couple of them to go a long stretch, but I had to fit barn doors in, and I fit in 3 horse stalls. I actually have 2 horses here in the lot so we can play and see how it goes. Fit some hay in, some water troughs, and I have a couple of characters that I've created that I can show you in a second. So here's one of our horses, Dakota, from Bluebell, if you know the other game that I'm referencing here, but I'll go into that in a second. And then again, this is a common area, so this is just the main area in the complex, and I just added a little bit more decor to it and created a little coffee like reception area in the main hall where you would normally call for the apartment. added some very Western art from, of course, the Pets expansion, and I created a cute little office space on the other side of one of the stalls that is a useful space where they can go in and use the desk. That's really all it is a desk, but I thought it would be great, you know, if somebody was studying or if they were a horse lover, you could turn this into something else, but it's not accessible from the other side. So just a cute little side area. I love doing that in my games where I have little places I can play additionally with. And then this is the other thing that I believe, oh, see, here's your normal note that you can't change things. So now that I think about it, this might have been ambitions to have the laundry, so I might have cheated. And then this is Sims 3 store contents, little outdoor shower. And then again, here's the peekaboo area where he can see from his apartment outside, and then also into the pool area. So he has kind of nice views there. And I say him because that's Kana down there, and that's going to be his house. So all you have to do if you're creating a multiple resident household like this, and I'm going to get into play mode real quick, and it is the evening, and I gave him lights, but he's complaining. But all you have to do is set up doors. Probably should have done this during the daytime. Would have been smart, right? Look, it's 10 o'clock. All right. I think what I'm going to do actually is pause this real quick and come back when it is daylight so you can see it a little better. I'll get everybody moved in. But essentially what I'm going to do is Kana, who we have focused on here, is going to live in this apartment. So what I need to do is assign this door only to him and go into lock. And I'm going to specify Sims for the door, and I'm going to get rid of anybody who I don't want to operate the door. So Kana Natura here, who apparently is friends with I don't know who himself, is the only one who can open this door. That makes this entire space his apartment, and then naturally he's going to sleep there. If you have multiple Sims, like these two are good friends, you know, they'll probably be able to room together without any difficulty. Go back into it, then you could specify Sims for just the bedrooms, and that's kind of how that would work. So I'm going to do a quick playthrough here so you can see it in action, because it just spent, well, it was completely on a whim, but I spent a while renovating this. I got tired of Bridgeport not having any other aspects of life than the city, so this is my city and country apartment building by Frogsnack, and I hope you enjoy it. So let me get just a second. I'm going to play and switch this through to daytime, and I'll come back in a moment. Alright, so I let it become morning. I got a couple things going on here. Everybody got settled in. Lainey here is a natural cook. Probably. She just burnt some crepes, but I think it's because of my negligence. So she is cooking. I also have... Georgia just went to sleep. She doesn't really need anything to eat. The horses are able to eat their own hay and that because I got them stalled. I'm playtesting this, so I was able to... Oh, see? Like, discover that I hadn't coated these walls yet. Alright, well, I can show you buy mode at least. And these are some things that you'll notice. Let me just go ahead and slap this on there. These are some things that you would have noticed probably from the playthrough, and that is things like the... What is this? The 2x2 daylight ceiling. That is a Buydebug item. You can only find it under Buydebug, and you'll notice in editing sim houses that a lot of times the game programmers, the people that initially set up lots that are pre-made, have those just worked in. And if you wonder why an area is light, that's probably why. This is the marker I was talking about, so public room marker. This denotes that anybody can go here. If you want no Sims to be allowed in the apartment unless you invite them, don't put that marker there. But if you want an apartment situation like this, then go ahead and put it there. You'll notice that the area with the stables is not a public room, which is going to discourage random Sims from coming in here and leading the horses and things like that. And I thought there was a public room marker down here, but I really don't want people wandering around where the Sims are, where the horses are racing. So I'm okay with that also. If you go up here, even this has to be considered a public room, otherwise they can't continue up the stairs. So be careful about using these markers and just make sure that you're meticulous. Lay out your markers before maybe you do anything else. Alright, so here's Kana's apartment. Then we go one up from there, and you'll see again, I put a public room marker in the public bathroom, and that's what makes it a public bathroom. Without that, they would not be allowed, and it would be considered part of my apartment. Same thing for the store landing here. And then I do have an example of a hidden room marker, which is just down here. This is a little piece that I didn't want to do anything with. It's only 2 squares, and it is the hidden room marker. And then you also, as a part of this, just so you know, it's not enough to just place this marker down. It helps to recolor the ground, and you'll see in the video I recolored the ground because you can just put any ground there, and then hidden or not, it's easier. Oh, excuse me. And then hidden or not, it's easier for you to see it. So I'd rather just keep it black so you can take any color pattern and just flip everything to a darker color, dark brown or black, so that it doesn't show up even if you end up in this mode, that you don't worry about it. Again, no room markers in areas that you want to be exclusive to your Sims. The pool here is public, so that should be nice. We can have, you know, people from the neighborhood coming in and using the pool. I like that idea. Again, another public bathroom. So just thinking about amenities a little bit. And the fact that then, you know, the public maybe can help us with our laundry. You never know. It might happen that way. And there was one up here anyway. This is the way they built the lot. I don't know who's going to walk on the roof. But I said, forget it. We might as well let it be that way. So anyway, that's a general overview. And I'd like to introduce you to my Sims. Now, a couple of them are sleeping. This is Georgia. Georgia has a pile of clothing already. I wish they had different piles of clothing because they look silly. And this is an example of what you can do with locked doors. I had Lainey, because she's a natural cook, I thought she can cook for everybody. Now, Kana here, who's carrying food around in the middle of, I don't know, nowhere. I guess he decided to cook in somebody else's apartment. So, that's why he's annoyed at the moment. And, yeah, keep on yelling. So he has his own apartment, and he's supposed to cook in his own apartment, but apparently he's going around finding places to finish cooking because I told him to finish cooking. No, those French toast bits were, you can just clean that up. They were on top of his stove at his apartment. So we'll see if he goes back. But this is generally the situation, is if I go, let's say, to, Cam's taking a shower up here. But if we go to his apartment and we go to his door and we go to lock, he is the only one allowed to open the door. So here's everybody else. Well, in Lainey's case, I just changed it because I wanted her to host breakfast for her friends. So I went into lock, specify Sims for door, I let everybody in. Kana is immediately going to, oh, this is the only trash. So here's another thing. I'm playtesting. I'll bop the trash on down in a minute. And he's starving, which is really because he didn't finish cooking like I told him to. And I'm going to have Lainey invite everybody to have some crepes, which I think it was one of her wishes to have perfect crepes, and she got those, so that's pretty cool. So the people here that live here are still considered part of the household, and that's why the apartment situation's a little bit tricky. So Kana's going to come in here and probably not starve to death. Cam's hungry, so he should come on up, and Georgia is not hungry, so I'm going to leave her to her own devices. And then I just want to introduce the Sims to you a little bit because, and I really like how some of this came out. I love the colors. I really had fun with this one. Lainey doesn't care running around in her jammies. So I'm going to explain the characters to you, and I don't plan on doing any kind of Let's Play because I already do this sort of thing, and this is a family that I just enjoy playing. So if you already recognized anybody, well, good for you. I've got here Kana and his horse Hayate from the video game, this is Harvest Moon. So I'm such a Harvest Moon fanatic. I actually have written a fan fiction, and I've had quite a lot of fun writing it, and I've sort of got to the point where I just wanted to do something completely mindless and play The Sims. And what did I end up doing? I created the Tale of Two Towns Harvest Moon characters for The Sims 3, and I really thought I was just going to start with my original characters, Philip and Lillian, based of course off of the main character that you play in that game, and I ended up creating Lainey, Georgia, who is asleep thinking of band-aids. I would imagine she's a tomboy, so that works out. Cam, who, whatever he's doing, goodness knows, and Kana. So, these are some of the bachelors and bachelorettes from that game, because I thought that would be kind of fun. So I can just go through their traits real quick so you can also see them, but it was something I did kind of for my own amusement. So Kana and his horse Hayate have a really close relationship now in the game. I just created the two horses. So Dakota is Georgia's horse, and Kana is Hayate is Kana's. And in the game, again, they kind of grew up together. I don't have that situation here, and what I have instead is that I get to play through them starting their relationship with their horse. So I took some of the clues from the game, and I've got Hayate here is obedient, untrained, because in one of Kana's flower events he says that he had to hand feed Hayate every day for her to trust him, and then fast so she can be a racing horse. And because he rides her all over the mountains, so he's excited, you know, probably to take her out. So, and then Dakota I have as being agile, friendly, and neat, just because those were the cutest interactions, and she talks about how cute her girl Dakota is, and, you know, how close their bond is, and so I thought she should be easy to get along with, so she's friendly. And I was going to make her aggressive, because she's a little aggressive if you answer one of the hard events wrong, but I just didn't want to mess with it. She seems like an overall friendly horse. So, and she's going to be agile, so one can... And she's agile, so one of them can jump, and basically the other one cannot. Alright, so going into the actual characters from Harvest Moon, we have, again, sleeping Miss Georgia, and her traits. She loves the outdoors. She's a little bit hot-headed, has a little bit of a temper. She's an animal lover. She really should be equestrian. I had thought about giving her the ability to also be an animal lover, but I thought everything else really fit her behavior. Even in the rain, she's outside if you play Harvest Moon Tale of Two Towns. She does have a bit of a temper on her. If you date somebody else and you're supposed to be dating her, you know, she gets mad at you, stuff like that. An animal lover because her and her father Grady run one of the pet shops in that game. She's also very friendly. So I don't know, she's friendly, but takes a moment, I think, for her to open up, but she's not too bad. And she's definitely an angler because she teaches you how to fish in that game. So Lainey here is actually one of her good friends, and I haven't made Lainey and her friends just yet, since I just kind of created the characters and have given them some life experiences at this point. If you can tell, I've had Lainey cooking quite a bit, that she already has her culinary librarian lifetime wish. That's another reason I'm not going to be doing this as a playthrough. Because, well, they've already learned some things and not other things, and the relationships aren't quite there to make it like the other game, which, again, I'm a perfectionist. I did have Lainey and Cam go to college, because Cam references going to the city, and he went for a science and technology degree because of plants, because he's a florist. But they went together, so Lainey has this trait here in red, which is her trait that she earned from her academic experiences. So she's a social butterfly, she loves to talk, she loves to cook, she is a hopeless romantic, and she's a little bit easily impressed. So she's very, like, bubbly, cheerful, kind of the life of the party. That's her personality. And I did make her artistic, although I'm not sure. Maybe I should have made her neat instead, and I couldn't decide, so that's why when she went to the academy there, I let her also be neat. So in-game, her and Georgia pretty much hang out every day, and that's not where the relationships are yet, although they've hung out a little bit. Over here are, this is, alright, that's Cam. This is Lillian and Philip, so those are the main characters that are not on this lot. They're actually living in the city somewhere nearby. But I'm trying to showcase a little bit about the lot I made here. Cam is Savvy Sculptor, is the trait he picked up from university. He's a cat person, if you remember from the game. Again, he can't actually have a cat. I don't know what he's doing down here trying to deal with dogs, but anyway, in-game he loves cats, and so that's kind of how you can bond with Cam as a bachelor. He is also a florist, so I kind of want him to operate, you know, his own, like, floral shop, maybe in this game. That's kind of how I've been playing with him a little bit. He is definitely socially awkward, because one or two of his heart events involve getting him to open up to other people. So that should be sort of fun to play. Loves the outdoors as well. On all of his free time, he's essentially can be found wandering the mountain and going a little further than a lot of other people in Tale of Two Towns. He has a green thumb, which is a no-brainer for him. So that between that and loves the outdoors, I'm kind of surprised he's not a plant sim yet. And he has a gatherer, so he naturally can find more things, which makes sense because he roams outside. Now, Kana is one of the most straightforward characters of the game. Not showing up right now. He must be in the elevator. Kana Natura. I gave them all last names kind of based on who they are. I don't know. What is Cam doing? Unsaddle horse. Well, yeah, you can do that, but I don't even want you to. Go over here. I wanted, it's specific. I wanted the horses to bond with specific people. Oh my gosh. They can't die that way, can they? I don't think they can die from the elevator, but whatever. Alright, so anyway, Kana here, and you know, you can tell I don't really have the outfit that they had in game, or the hair, or whatever. I probably could have downloaded better hair for him. But he had like a banded tattoo on his arm, which of course in game comes out a little bit blurry. Tried to make him similar. He is definitely brave. He is a little hot-headed himself. Him and Georgia are known to fight and have a rivalry because they're from separate towns. So he's from Konohana, which is the town you can raise or grow crops in, and she's from Bluebell, which is where the last names of their horses come from. But Georgia is from Bluebell, and she runs kind of the opposing ranch, and so they run ranch/pet shops where you can, you can buy a horse to take care, or you can buy a horse or you can buy a dog to take care of your, some of your other animals and things like that. So they're definitely there. There's a bit of a rivalry there. So he's hot-headed. He is handy because he's always fixing what apparently is a really messed up stable that he has in that game. He's definitely an equestrian, and he is friendly. He's almost too friendly. And he doesn't shut up about horses, so I wish I could have made him an equestrian like 3 times over. So that's a little bit about the characters here, and I just wanted to get them. Let's see, where's Dakota? Dakota is George's girl, so I'm going to have her come down and start bonding with her horse. And we're going to unsaddle her because she has trouble with that. And I want Kana to get along with Hayate, who is a familiar horse. And Lainey apparently is trying to interact with the horses, but that's not your job. I also made the horses as close as I could to what they look like in the game. So I'm going to have him come over and, I don't know, can you feed a seed to a horse? As I guess he just did. So she was supposed to be cooking for everybody. Lainey, operates a cafe with her dad, so. But I just want to make sure that everybody can get through all of the different spaces. It's kind of an awkward, lot to have an apartment lot for an apartment lot with horses and everything else. So regarding space, so we'll find out. I've never played with an untrained horse either. So, and what's Cam doing? I was messing with the other horse. Unsaddling horses. I didn't tell you to do that. Why don't you go sculpt something? He doesn't have anything yet either. And let's see if we can get to everything here. I did put these outside, which, I don't know, maybe it's weird. It's really almost more for aesthetics. And it looks like Lainey was going to go swimming, which is nice. This is Kana's apartment here. Going back up. Who's where? This is Georgia, and this is Lainey. And above them in the big apartment is Cam, I think. Is that how he did it? I believe so. Let's find out. Oh, right. That was Lainey's. Sorry, Lainey has the big one. Well, whatever. So that means that's Cam's. All right. So, another way you can do things like this is I know I made the apartment look uniform. Is you could color code doors and things so you don't forget who's allowed where. You could grab like hair color or something and put that as the wood color of the door so that you can keep track of it. There's always little ideas for things like that. So, and Cam, he definitely needs to grow something. Oh, they got nothing to do in here since it's a really simplistic apartment. So what do I want him to do? He's got some weird things too. I don't even think he visited Egypt. I don't know. Let's buy him some things not from these games. Wait, where is it? It's a rug? Yeah, the earth rugs. So a lot of people hate on... hang on a second. Yeah, we'll just put these outside. The nature soil. Alright, so a lot of people don't like or didn't like Into the Future, but it had some really cool innovations that, I don't know, I think we needed. So I'm going to have him come plant a garden. And you can do that on the nature soil rug that came with that expansion, which is kind of awesome. So I'm going to have him come and plant a pecan. And plant coffee bean, which is from University. The coffee beans are. And I think that's all he's got that we can plant. But that's okay. It gets him out of our way because Miss Georgia here was going to interact with her horse. And he's trying to... No. I guess they take it as like a need. Where'd Hayate go? Racing! He's galloping around. Alright, well, Let's see if that works. I bet he's going to get bucked off. I don't know what an untrained horse is like. I doubt he could just ride the horse. But maybe he can. No. Nope. Feed, treat. Affection, talk to. And let's let him sniff our hand. Yeah, I like horses in that. I just, I like certain towns, and then you have to remake the certain towns for, look at the clothing everywhere. The laundry was a horrible idea. But you have to remake certain towns then for the other expansions. So that's kind of why I made this lot, so that you have a little bit of a bridge. No, we're not doing that either. Okay, yeah, so we're just gonna get along. Oh yeah, she made horse granola. I forgot. She made that. Right, we really want them to bond with those horses more than anybody else. Because it fits their personalities. And I'd like to just have them saddle and ride around, but if they, you know, everybody's untested at this point, we just need to make sure that the spacing of things works. But this is generally the idea, you know, you have a community living situation, you can handle the horses and everything else. Oh, these two are playing catch. That's alright, they're good friends. Why don't you swim? I want to see if you guys can swim. I want to see if you can see them from the lower level, because I think that would be pretty cool. And it would make sense, right? I believe it would make sense. Alright, so this is going on pretty well so far. No. No, you're fine. Alright, and, clean your hooves. We'll do the same thing over here. We want to take care of them as much as we can, as much as is possible. Oh! They're swimming. Perfect. So it works. So that's kind of cool. I love the effect. You got people swimming, you got horsies. It all works out. Yeah, so these are obviously my favorite of the bachelors and bachelorettes of Harvest Moon. If you guys like seeing characters from different games into Sims, you know, I mean, from time to time I get bored and I make them, but I have to usually really like whatever I'm making, so. But I'm open to any suggestions. I just have fun making things in general. It looks like our lot works. I'm not sure, since Dakota had the unsaddle me, you know, where she was saddled for so long. She can use some water and she's restless. Okay, lack of exercise. So let's see. I just wanted you to see a little bit more of this before I go off of there, but let's lead horse and see if we can lead her to water. Is she gonna sniff us? And then we'll go over here. Maybe? I don't know if that's how that works. And what are you doing? Look at him trying to watch TV. I will delete your TV. Let's see. Reinforcement. Praise for being fast. And being obedient. You can do some reinforcement as well. I want to see what the praise interaction's like. Oh, just a little pet. That's very nice. I don't play with much with the pets expansion because I like it, but it's complicated. You have to remake houses to fit the pets and things. And until I have more lots like this. Oh, okay, that's the leading. That's right, with no saddle. It's so weird that they have a different outfit for leading. That is just weird to me. Alright, so if they go here, is she done leading him? Or her? Sorry, Dakota and Hayate are both girls. Well, let's see if we can't gallop around a little bit or have her jump a little bit. So, it's not that one won't be able to jump and the other will. He's galloping again. Let's do more affectionate things. Before you do anything else there, bucko. The need for speed. Okay, I love how they back up, but that's how they are in real life. I've ridden horses a couple times in my life. I've never had one, but they really are just beautiful creatures. No, we're done. She's galloping also. She needs exercise. Alright, so that gives you a little bit of an understanding about all this. Let's make sure she can drink. Hopefully she's able. She's got space. I put 2 troughs out, so they should have space. There's hay to eat. You can come out here and scatter more hay. He's still getting along well with Hayate. These two are having a hold their breath contest. Right. So, this is just kind of an idea to get everybody together that was in that game so they can all build relationships and trust before I let the main characters interact with them too much more. Because I wanted to have it be a similar situation to in the game, and I'd love eventually to have an actual sim town of Tale of Two Towns, because if you've never played that game before, it was a really cool setup where in the middle of the two towns is a mountain, and you basically have to go climb this giant mountain to get anything done on the other side, and you have to bring the towns together, even though there are fighting, you know, or are disagreements like between Georgia and Kana here. So that was one really cool thing about that game. Of course, all the rules change a little bit when you turn them into Sims, but so far, you know, look at her bad attitude walk. I love her. I love her walk. You know, but you're getting something similar for sure. And then you have a little bit more control over it because it's very linear gameplay when you play. Yeah, he's just going back and forth here. I thought they'd go around. But right, when you play a game like The Sims, you have so many more options, and that's what the game's all about. So thank you again for watching. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I think I showed you all the little rooms and everything. Again, if I do put this up online, I'll put a link to the lot. It would just be a replacement of the normal lot. And I hope you guys enjoyed the Let's Play, or the Let's Build, or whatever you want to call these. This is Frog Snack, signing out.